Welcome to our deep dive. We're tackling unified commerce today.
Yeah, a super hot topic in retail right now.
It really is, and you guys send in so much research on this.
It seems like everyone wants to know if this is the real deal.
Yeah, if this is the future or just another buzzword.
Right, because we've seen those come and go.
Exactly. So let's, what is unified commerce?
Well, at its core, it's about creating a seamless experience.
Okay, so like shopping online and in-store feeling the same.
Yeah, that's part of it, but it's actually bigger than that.
Okay, so how is it different than just like omnichannel?
One of the articles you sent had a great analogy.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
It said omnichannel is like different departments talking to each other.
Right, they can communicate, but they're still separate.
Exactly, but unified commerce is like having everyone in the same room.
So everyone working together in real time.
Exactly, collaborating towards a shared goal.
So no more silos, no more data getting lost in the shuffle.
Precisely, and that's where the idea of a single source of truth comes in.
That sounds powerful. What does that actually look like in practice?
Imagine a dashboard with all your business data in one place.
Okay, so like sales, inventory, customer information.
All of that updated in real time and accessible to everyone.
Wow, that's a game changer. No more guessing games.
Right. Everyone from marketing to sales has the same up-to-date information.
So no more frustrated customers asking why the website says one thing.
And the store says another, exactly.
That would definitely improve the customer experience.
And that leads to all sorts of benefits for the business.
Like what?
Well, streamlined operations for one.
Makes sense. Less confusion, fewer errors.
Exactly. And that leads to a smoother, more frictionless customer experience.
Which ultimately leads to more sales.
Right. One of your sources mentioned a Canadian business.
Yeah, I saw that one.
They saw a 20% sales increase in just 1 month.
Wow, that's huge.
Just by implementing a unified commerce platform.
So it's not just a theory, it's actually delivering results.
Absolutely. And those results can be pretty dramatic.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the benefits, but how does it actually work?
Let's say a customer is browsing your website, adding items to their cart.
Okay, pretty common scenario.
But they don't complete the purchase.
Happens all the time.
With a unified commerce platform, you could send them a personalized message.
Like an email or a text offering free shipping.
Exactly, something to encourage them to complete the purchase.
So it's about using technology to understand your customers better.
And respond to their needs in real time.
That's really powerful.
It is, and it's just one example of what unified commerce can do.
We've talked about some big companies using this, like Nike and Sephora.
Yeah, the big players are definitely on board.
But your research also mentions some Swedish companies.
Like IKEA and Elgiganten.
Right, so it's not just for retail giants.
Not at all. Businesses of all sizes can benefit from this approach.
So what's stopping everyone from jumping on the unified commerce bandwagon?
Well, there are some challenges to consider.
Yeah, let's talk about those because it's not all sunshine and roses.
Definitely not. Implementing unified commerce can be complex.
And probably expensive.
That too. But let's dive into those challenges in more detail.
Okay, so let's talk challenges. What's the biggest hurdle businesses face?
Well, one of the biggest is data integration.
Yeah, I can see how that would be tricky.
You've got customer data in one system, inventory in another.
Sales data somewhere else entirely. It's all over the place.
Exactly. And bringing all that together into a single view.
That can't be easy.
It's a huge challenge, especially if you're dealing with legacy systems.
Those older systems that weren't designed for this kind of integration.
Right. They weren't built to talk to each other.
So that's one hurdle, data integration. What else?
Well, once you've tackled that, then you have to choose the right technology.
And there are a lot of options out there.
A ton, each with its own pros and cons.
So how do you even begin to navigate that landscape?
Well, your research highlighted the importance of a cloud-based platform.
Okay, and why is that?
Cloud platforms tend to be more flexible and scalable.
So you can grow with the system as your business grows.
Exactly, and you don't have to manage all the hardware yourself.
That makes sense. But wouldn't all this require a huge investment?
It does require an investment, both in terms of time and money.
So how can a smaller business realistically afford this?
That's a valid concern, but it's not an all-or-nothing proposition.
Okay, so you're saying you don't have to do everything at once.
Right. You can start small focus on the most critical systems first.
So a phased approach.
Exactly. And as your budget allows you, you can gradually expand.
That makes it more manageable. But even then, it still sounds daunting.
It can be. And that brings us to another crucial factor.
But is.
Change management.
Ah, yes, the human element.
It's not enough to just implement the technology.
You have to get your team on board.
Absolutely. You need to communicate the why and the how.
Explain why this change is happening, how it will benefit them.
And provide the necessary training and support.
It's a people process as much as a technology process.
Exactly. And one of your sources pointed out a surprising statistic.
Oh yeah, what was that?
About half of retailers lack a clear strategic roadmap.
For implementing unified commerce, that's a lot.
It is, and it underscores the importance of having a well-defined plan.
So you need to know what you're trying to achieve.
What your goals are, what systems need to be integrated.
What kind of customer experience you want to create.
Precisely. It's about having a vision for the future.
And a plan for how to get there.
Right. And that plan should also include metrics for success.
So how will you know if your unified commerce strategy is working?
What key performance indicators will you track?
It's starting to sound pretty complex.
It can be, but the potential rewards can be substantial.
We've talked about increased sales, but what else?
Improved customer loyalty, greater operational efficiency.
A more agile and responsive business.
Exactly. Unified commerce can touch every aspect of your operation.
Okay, so let's bring this back to our listener.
Sure.
You've given them a lot to think about where they go from here.
That's the big question, isn't it? How do they know if this is right for them?
Because it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Definitely not. Your sources mentioned some key factors to consider.
Like what?
Turnover and online-offline presence.
So bigger businesses with a strong online presence.
They're more likely to see a significant return on their investment.
But that doesn't mean smaller businesses should ignore it.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a future goal rather than an immediate priority.
Right. It's all about assessing your own situation.
And deciding if it's the right move for your business right now.
Okay, so it's not a quick fix. It's a journey.
Exactly. A journey towards a more unified, customer-centric future.
And the resources you provided offer a great roadmap for that journey.
They do. They provide a wealth of information and insights.
Okay, so our listener has their homework cut out for them.
They do, but it's an exciting journey to embark on.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential of unified commerce, but also the challenges of putting it into practice.
Yeah, it's definitely not a simple flip of a switch.
Your research really highlighted that this is a fundamental shift.
It's not just a tech upgrade. It's a whole new way of thinking about your business.
It's about really understanding your customers.
And creating a seamless experience for them, no matter how they interact with you.
Right, whether they're online, in-store, or on their phone.
It's about meeting them where they are and providing a consistent experience.
And we've seen examples of companies, both big and small.
Yeah, who are already reaping the benefits of this approach.
But one thing that really stood out to me from the research
Yeah, what was that?
was the importance of having a clear vision and a solid plan.
Absolutely. You wouldn't build a house without blueprints.
And you shouldn't implement unified commerce without a roadmap.
Exactly. You need a clear strategy for how you're going to get there.
And that roadmap should include not just the technical aspects,
But also the human element.
getting your team on board, providing training, managing the change.
One source even suggested bringing in a change management expert.
That to help guide the process.
It's a big undertaking, and it impacts everyone in the organization.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with a final thought for our listener.
Sure. What's the one key takeaway you want them to remember?
I think it's this unified commerce isn't just about keeping up with the latest trend,
It's about building a future.
where every interaction you have with a customer is personalized.
And meaningful, and builds lasting loyalty.
It's about creating a better customer experience.
And a stronger, more resilient business.
And that future might be closer than you think.
With the right approach, even small businesses can get started.
It's about taking those first steps towards a more unified.
And customer-centric approach.
Great advice. Well, thank you so much for guiding us through this complex topic.
My pleasure.
And to our listener, thanks for diving deep with us today.
We hope you found this deep dive informative and inspiring.
And we encourage you to explore the resources you sent in.
To learn more about unified commerce and how it can benefit your business.
Until next time, happy shopping and selling.